Welcome back. It's been a while since I did a book haul video, but the postman's been, and I've got another pretty decent book haul that I like to go through. I have been buying books randomly, but this is the one big bulk lot that I've bought recently, and I thought I'd share the whole experience with you. Now, it's been about 2 or 3 months since I ordered and received these books. I've just been too busy enjoying my reading that I actually haven't taken time to look through this. But I've got my knife handy this time, and we'll go through and see what the postman's brought us, eh? So it's getting pretty warm this time of year. I'm shooting this video, it's just about October. Yeah, just about October. I think the 1st or 2nd of October. And it's already hitting the mid-30s, 36 to 38 degrees Celsius, that is, where I live in Sydney. Pardon me, I just bumped the mic. So it's getting rather stinking hot already. So I'm hoping I can make the full video without falling together in a big puddle of sweat. But anyway, what do we have? It looks like some pretty decent wrapping. Let's go through it, eh? So I'll put this box down. First lot, what do we have? I already see that I must have been frantically clicking away because I see some things that I've already purchased in the past, but that I don't think will be too bad. Let's have a look. Some accidental ASMR or irritating noises by some people. Anyway, here we go. The first one, Harry Harrison's Death World 2. Now, I've previously featured this in a book review. Wonder if it's handy. I can go to here. So this is the previous version that I showed on this channel, of Death World 2 by Harry Harrison. I've enjoyed the novel, but this is a slightly different cover art, so I don't mind that at all. It looks pretty decent to me. So that looks pretty good. So Death World 2 by Harry Harrison. Now Paul Anderson's 3 Hearts and 3 Lions. It's a fantasy classic, this one. Now Paul Anderson has won something like 10 Hugo and Nebula award winning awards for his mainly novella and short stories. So Paul Anderson is definitely a very famous writer, at least in that golden age of writing. Yeah, 7 Hugo Awards he won. I can't recall reading this one. Maybe some of you have. So Paul Anderson. Payne Harrison. Now, Payne Harrison is not science fiction. He's, I think, military fiction, alternate history type novel. Thunder of Erebus. Have any of you read this one? I haven't read Payne Harrison. I'm not really much of a reader apart from science fiction and the classics. I do love things like Frankenstein and Dracula. All the classic novels, I just think they're just brilliant. Yeah, but Payne Harrison, but I don't know, maybe that's a decent one. I'll give it a go. Not Brian Aldiss Cryptozoic. And I bought most of these because I really do enjoy vintage science fiction, and for me, I mentioned in the past in some other book openings, I'm a huge art fan, and I love the science fiction art covers in some of these novels. So I'm always happy to get, this is Vintage SF Classics collection. I'm always happy to pick up vintage novels. I used to have a really big library before my kids were born, but like many things you sacrifice for all the right reasons. I'm slowly rebuilding my collection. Arthur C. Clarke's The Sand of Mars. I have read this one. It was quite some time ago though. Probably deserves a reread. What's the back say? Published by Sidgwick and Jackson. Anyway, it is the 21st century. On Mars, a dedicated group of pioneers, among them some of Earth's finest brains, struggle to change the face of the planet. The Sands of Mars. You know what would be really interesting is reviewing this, which is just, what is it, 100 something odd pages, 200 pages actually, just 203 pages, against something like Kim Stanley Robinson's Red Mars, which is like a classic, thick, real wonderful world building. I love Red Mars. It will be coming up in our sci-fi shed ladder that we've got going here, where I'm ranking all the Hugo and Nebula award winning novels. So if you're new to the channel, you may want to just see what we've been up to on here. But it'll be really interesting exercise, taking something like, you know, Arthur C. Clarke's just short novel format of terraforming Mars compared to something like Kim Stanley Robinson. Maybe that's an idea for a future video. Actually, I'll let you know. But that's I think I enjoyed it from memory. It's been some time. It's been years and years. It's like decades since I last read that one. What's this one? Hey, Kate Wilhelm. Awesome. Let the Fire Fall. Let the Fire Fall, Kate Wilhelm. So Kate won a Hugo for Where Late the Sweet Bird Sang, and I've just recently, as of maybe 6 or so weeks by the time you see this video, I recently reviewed another one of her novels, The Killer Thing, which I thought had some really interesting themes as well. So what did this one say? The alien starship landed in a cornfield. Its crew died rapidly, leaving only one survivor, a baby conceived on an unknown world, carried in its mother's womb across space and delivered even as the mother died on a hostile Earth. Blah, blah, blah. Could be interesting. I do like Kate Wilhelm. Let's see what that one brings. Like always, if there's any one of these books as I'm pulling them out that you think, oh, you know, Pete, I would really like your opinion on that one. Looks interesting. How about giving it a go for us? I'm happy to do that. Always happy to do that. Now, this one is not... it wouldn't be, the author at least, wouldn't be news to a lot of people who love the Hugos and Nebulas. C.J. Cherryh won several novels on the Hugo, which we'll be covering again on this channel in the not too distant future. Do I have some of them there? I've got Werner Vinge there, but yeah. Second lot, let's have a look what we've got here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So what was that? C.J. Serpent's Reach. Hugo award-winning author, which it definitely was. So Serpent's Reach is a star system inhabited by the Major, a powerful, intelligent, ant-like race, sorry, and it is a territory forbidden to outsiders. This is a story of Rain, the last of the massacred Soul family, and of her lifetime pledge to vengeance. Rain's quest takes her across the worlds of the Reach into the very center of the alien webwork that knits together the forbidden constellation with devastating consequences. You know, I've enjoyed C.J. Cherryh's work in the past, so it'd be interesting actually to pay that one a visit. What else do we have here? Frederick Pohl. Spoiler. Oh, where is it? Frederick Pohl. Ah, come on. I think this was one of the reasons that I picked this slot, because I knew I had things like Arthur C. Clarke that I've always enjoyed. There was that Death World, which I've enjoyed, just purely for the cover art. But I like C.J. Cherryh, so that was always intriguing for me. But I really like the Heechee saga. I had all the books at one point in time, and we've reviewed Gateway on this channel, which is ranking really well on the Sci-Fi Shed. So when I saw book 3 of the Heechee saga come up in this slot, I thought, yeah, I'm going to put a bid in. And I was the only one who actually bid. It's sort of funny how these wonderful books, people just ignore these days, you know. But yeah, book 3 of the Heechee saga, Reach Your Rendezvous. Again, I really like the Heechee saga, was a big fan. And what a great cover art. I just love it. Like, very cool. What else do we have? Sapphire Road by Wynne and Whitford. Now, Australian sci-fi, edited by Paul Collins. I've not read anything from Wynne Whitford, and she's an Australian author, so I saw this in a light come up, and I thought, you know what, I should be patriotic and give Wynne a go. What's this about? Van Moore, seeking the technical know-how to save his society, is thrust into the bizarre civilization of Alcenar. I wonder what this will be like. I'll definitely need to read it and give you guys a review. I suspect there will be many watchers out there who would absolutely have no knowledge of Wynne. I sort of have seen her name pop up in forums from time to time, but I've not read it, and it'll be really interesting for me, again, one of those patriotic things to say, well, what does Vince have to say for herself, or himself, I don't even know. Hayes, Early Modestit Jr. I've not read much of L.E. Modesett Jr., gotta admit. What lies beneath the fog of the millions of orbiting nanotech satellites that shroud the world called haze? Have you guys read much of his work? I have to admit, I've not read any. I'm pretty sure I've not read any of his works. I'm assuming it's a he. That's how much I really don't know. Yeah, it is a he. Best-selling author of the Saga of the Recluses, lives in Cedar City, Utah. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Is it worthwhile investigating a bit more into L.E. Modesett? What are your thoughts? I don't know anything about him. I'm not even read up on it. I really don't know anything about this guy. So I'm really interested in your opinions on this one. Like I've said in the past, I'm always open to new ideas and reading someone new. So if that's highly recommended by you all, I'm happy to give that one a go. So another one by Caroline Cherry. What's this one? The Faded Sun trilogy. I mentioned before when we were looking at what's the other one that we had of hers in this box? The Serpent's Reach and Faded Sun trilogy. I've not read these. I've only really read a couple of hers, and mainly the ones that have won the Hugos, like Sighting and Down Below Station. So they're the two that I've read and have enjoyed over the years. But I've not read any of her fantasy novels, and this one looks to be one of her fantasy ones. A trilogy of epic scale published for the first time in one volume. The Faded Sun plots the fates of three individuals against a vast background of war, alliance, treachery across the stars. Or maybe it's not, maybe it is science fiction. But either way, I'm not familiar with the full body of work. But yeah, I've enjoyed, like I said, Sighting and Down Below Station, and that's why I was happy to pick those up. And we've got another Frederick Pohl, the sequel to The Space Merchants. The Merchants' War, the long-awaited sequel to Frederick Pohl, The Space Merchants. I read The Space Merchants years ago. All I do remember from it is that I didn't quite enjoy it as much as Gateway and the rest of the Heechee saga. But I'm probably overdue for a reread of these. I haven't read the sequels. It sort of didn't have that lasting impact on me, but I'll have to definitely give that one a try. So another Frederick Pohl. So there were some of the reasons why I didn't really hesitate buying this lot. There's another bundle to go. Let's get to it. I might need to get myself one of those portable air conditioners. It's getting pretty hot in here. The Fellowship of the Hand, Edward D. Hodge. Are comparable to the Andromeda strain. Okay, if you enjoy science fiction and mystery, you shouldn't miss the Fellowship of the Hand. Miss the Fellowship of the Hand. The year is 2050. Jazz and computer specialist is called in to investigate irregularities in the wiring of an election computer. Okay. He stumbles upon evidence that the machine has been used to record the results of an unknown election between candidates whose very existence seems doubtful. It sounds all too close to home. Anyway, The Fellowship of the Hand, Edward D. Hodge. And look, that might be interesting, actually. I don't mind the premise of that from what I read at the back. Have you read it? What are your thoughts on that? The cover art's pretty cool. It does look like one of those sort of mystery novels, doesn't it? Vintage mystery novels. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if you're the same. Sometimes I just see a book and I can't help but judge it by the cover. And I look at this one and I think, you know what? There's not much to say about the cover, but something draws me in. And I'm actually interested, and I wouldn't be surprised if this gets a quick read one of these days. Robert Silverberg, Downward to Earth. The planet Belzegor is predominantly jungle, populated with the bizarre flora and fauna, and governed by the elephant-like alien Nilodoror and the bipedal Silidoror. I have read this one, Down Below Station. Oh, Downward to the Earth. I'm pretty sure I've got it here somewhere behind me. Robert Silverberg. I can't seem to find it there, but I'm pretty sure I've read this one. I do like my Robert Silverberg, so I can't remember this one though. It mustn't have made that much of an impact, or maybe it had, I can't remember. Gunderson was lost on Belzegor when it was the colonial planet Holman's world, and he was an administrator. He has returned to meet old friends, his former lover, Sina, and the enigmatic Kurtz. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I've read a lot of Silverberg, so I wouldn't be surprised if I have read this one. But I don't see it behind me in my books, and I'm pretty sure I didn't get rid of my Robert Silverbergs. So I might have read it on Kindle, and I'm terrible remembering books when I've read them on Kindle. I think the fact that, you know, when you're reading a paperback book and you're picking up the novel every day and you see the artwork, helps you remember these novels, I find. Downward to the Earth, I don't know. I think I have read it, but I think it might be an overdue one to read this one. Robert Silverberg. I'm a big fan of Robert Silverberg. Find the Changeling. I'm pretty sure I've already got this one, actually, by Gregory Benford. Yeah, I do. Okay. So maybe this is one that will come up in a giveaway at some point in time. The Terrifying Hunt for a World-Wrecking Alien. I don't think I've read it, though. Have you guys read this one? What are your thoughts? I do like Gregory Benford. I remember Timescape, which won the Hugo. I'm pretty sure was a Hugo. Sorry, Nebula Award. It actually says so on the back there. I'm cheating a bit. But we need to read that because, again, we've got to cover that as part of our Hugo ladder. It was an interesting novel. I do remember enjoying it. So we'll have to put that one to the test. But yeah, this one, Jules, a couple of copies, but I'll give it away to a friend once I've read it and can make some recommendation. The Goblin Reservation by Clifford de Semac. I'm a big fan of Clifford de Semac. I have read this one. There was Maxwell. He had just returned from discovering a new planet, and Mr. O'Toole the Goblin, and Sylvester the saber-toothed tiger and ghost who didn't know who he was, and Alley-Oop, who had been brought back from Neanderthal times. Yeah, I thought this was just a bit of a fun novel. Clifford de Semac's The Goblin Reservation. Very cool cover art, though. Absolutely love that. Have you guys read this one? What were your thoughts? I read this one some time ago, and I found it a nice change of pace from the normal stuff that I normally read. Another Semac. That's another reason why I bought this slot. Being a Semac fan, time is the simplest thing. And we did cover Semac in one of our previous videos in Waystation, which is ranking really well on the Sci-Fi Shed ladder, one of my all-time favourite novels. Time is the simplest thing. Millions of light years from Earth, the telepathic explorer found his mind possessed by an alien creature. I can't recall if I read this one. I'd have to check on my Kindle. I read a fair bit of Semac on my Kindle, so this could be one of those. But excellent cover art once again, and again, one of the big reasons I picked this slot up. That is very cool. I really like that one. Alright, we're getting there, just 3 more to go. So Arthur C. Clarke's 2001 A Space Odyssey. Probably needs very little introduction. I've already got A Space Odyssey, actually, but it's a slightly different cover art. So that's the one I have, my original copy that I had. I bought this one years ago, I couldn't part with it. It's just a classic, you know, for me. So that was a cover that I had in the past. But yeah, this one I think is slightly older. When was this one printed? 1988. I think mine was no, actually mine is slightly older, 1983. So almost the same vintage, but 2 different versions of Arthur C. Clarke's 2001 A Space Odyssey, and dang, it's another duplicate. So that's the one that came in the box. Odyssey 2. 2010 Odyssey 2, but I've already got the exact same version. So maybe yet another one for a friend or a potential giveaway at some point in the future. And last, and potentially least, I don't know, Hammond Innes, Leviticus Man. I don't know anything about this one. Fugitive in Greece. He was moving slowly nearer a ghost of a figure in the red immensity of that June landscape, walking with slow, uncertain steps. Who sent you? There was hostility, no sign of blah blah blah. It already sounds boring. Quick action adventure and particularly interesting background. I don't even know if this is science fiction. I don't know. I don't know. Is it science fiction? Doesn't sound like it from the blurb. The Leviticus. The story is set in Malta and the Greek islands. Hammond Innes knows this part of the world better than most people, with special intimacy that comes from exploring it in his own boat. I don't know. Some maps. I'll have to check this one out. I don't know anything about it. Do you guys know? Hey, look, just a bit of light-hearted mucking about with a book haul. Now I've got to fix it all up behind me. Maybe one of these days I'll go through and provide a bit of an overview on my shelf and what we've got at hand at the moment. It's quite a few. You might not see more, but there's it goes up and down a fair bit. Hey, thank you for spending some time with me in the shed. I've been really tired this week, so I hope you've enjoyed that. A bit of unboxing. I'm hoping some of it has inspired you to do something similar and give these vintage books, a life. I think they deserve to be read and to be stored and kept and appreciated for what they were, which is great pieces of fiction for me. Sad to see them go to waste. Hey, it's been Peter. This has been The Shed, and I'll see you next time in The Shed.